Prabhu, could you please hold this?
What is that? Oh.
Yeah, this is live streaming. Hold. I'll just make a call and come back. Okay?
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Radha Madhava, Jai Hari. Jaya Radha Madhava, Jai Hari. Jaya Gopi Chandra Vallabha, Girivaradhari. Jaya Gopi Chandra Vallabha, Girivaradhari. Yashoda Nandana, Yashoda Nandana, Yashoda Nandana, Yashoda Nandana, Yamuna Tira Vandachari, Yamuna Tira Vandachari. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Vaishnavam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Yukam Sagadatam Saganaraganatam Vitam Sadhijram Sainam Sarajam Krishna Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Balavam Sagadam Krishna Kavitamscha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinam Jagarpate O Krishna Gopikatam Tam Tarakam Tamosute Tapakantano Rangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishramanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpa Charubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Nayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We've been reading the 9th chapter, and today we're on text 27. This is a very often quoted verse. Do we have it on the board?
Yeah.
Yat karoshi yadasnasi.
Yat karoshi yadasnasi.
Yat karoshi yadasnasi.
Yat karoshi yadasnasi.
Yat josi yadasiyat.
Yat josi yadasiyat.
Jahoshi dadasiyat.
Yat josi yadasiyat.
Yat tapasyasi kunteya.
Yat tapasyasi kunteya.
Tapasyasi kunteya.
Yat tapasyasi kunteya.
Krishna Marapanam.
Tatusvamanam.
Yat Krishna Marapanam.
Tatusvamanam.
Karoshi yadasnasi.
Yat karoshi yadasnasi.
Jahoshi dadasiyat.
Yat josi yadasiyat.
Yat tapasyasi kunteya.
Yat tapasyasi kunteya.
Krishna Marapanam.
Tatusvamanam.
Yat karosi yatasnasi.
Yat karosi yadasnasi.
Yat jihosi dadasiyat.
Yat josi yadasiyat.
Yat tapasyasi kantiya.
Yat tapasyasi kunteya.
Purusvamat arpanam.
Tatusvamanam.
Mataji.
Yat karoshi yadasnasi. Jayoshi dadasiyat. Yat tapasyasi kunteya. Tatusvamanam.
Yat. Whatever.
Whatever.
Karoshi.
Karoshi, you do.
Yat.
Yeah, whatever.
Asnasi.
Asnasi,
You eat.
yeah,
You give away. Yat. Whatever. Yat. Whatever. Tapasyasi. Austerities you perform. Konteya. Asana kunti. That. Purushpa. Do. Mat. Unto me. Apanam. As an offering. Translation. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever austerities you perform, do that as an offering to me. So we read in the previous verse how we should offer our food to Krishna.
The mic.
Not that he needs food, but that he's eager to have a loving relationship with us. He's like a lusty man, he's happy to have more than one woman. But Krishna, he's a loving man, not lusty, but loving, and he wants to increase his loving propensities. But in order to do that, we have to love him. We have experience, right? You may see somebody you really could love, but if they don't love you, you have nothing. There's no exchange. So in the same way, we all have eternal, original relationship with Krishna, constitutional position, but we've chosen to put ourselves in the center. Therefore, we're all born in false ego. The Christians have an idea of original sin. But this is the original sin, is that instead of putting God in the center, we want to put ourselves in the center. And it didn't happen because Adam ate an apple, because that's not fair. Why should I have to suffer because Adam ate an apple? No, each one of us individually decided on our own intelligence or misuse of intelligence, that we would like to be equal with Krishna, put him on the same level as me. That was what Duryodhana, when he went to talk to Krishna to get help in war, he thought he's just like me. So if we think like that in the spiritual world, we're no longer welcome there. So the first qualification to get back to the spiritual world, we have to admit our constitutional position is subordinate to the Lord and his representative, the spiritual master. Why the spiritual? Because he's in harmony with the will of the Lord, and so therefore, Saksharari, he's as good as God. Not that he's God or ever thinks he's God, but we should respect him as good as God because of his surrender to God. He has no more false ego. We saw that in Srila Prabhupada. I, for one, was quite cynical at first, and I was testing Srila Prabhupada. But after by a year and a half, I was convinced that this person was worshipable. Why? Because he was always our well-wisher. He didn't have any malice. He wasn't ever thinking of, one-upmanship. I'm better than you because I'm your guru. You better do it. Nothing like that. He was only full of mercy. And whenever he got chastised us, which he did, that also we can accept. Well, he's correcting me. It's not out of malice. It's not out of some ill intention. No. He was doing it for our benefit. He was our well-wisher. He signed every letter, your ever well-wisher. So we never met anybody like that because in this material, everybody's got an angle, right? Everybody's trying to get some advantage here in the material world, and they use us too for their advantage. If we can help them, they don't mind exploiting us because their goal is they want to be prominent, and it works individual to individual and country to country, isn't it? Now Russia wanted to be more prominent. Looks like they made a mistake, but they're trying. Chinese, everybody knows Chinese would like to be. Americans, yeah, oh yes, make America great again. So this is the disease. We're all subject to the disease. We want to overlord, we want to control, we want to enjoy, we want to be the proprietor. But this is not our position. We're small, tiny particles, tiny. But we think we can be great. This is the Maya, that which is not. We can't be great. My constitution was small. But by serving the great, we can have a glorious position. Glorious, because we are, by constitution, eternal, full of knowledge and bliss. So it's a very nice position we have, but we're not satisfied with that. Instead of agreeing to be the subordinate to the Lord, we want to dominate the Lord. So when we have that mentality becomes prominent, then we're no longer allowed in the spiritual world. But instead of sending us to hell forever and ever and punishing us eternally, no. The Lord gives us this material world. Okay, you can imagine you're the center. The child is thinking like that, up to 2 years old or something. They think they're the center of the world. So we have to grow up. Even we teach our children, no, you can't punch your brother. Why not? I'm here to disturb him. I'm bigger than him. Why can't I punch him? Isn't it? Isn't that how this world works? Might makes right. Isn't it the history of this world? If we study the history, we see always somebody's exploiting, someone's being exploited. And they even, they philosophize it, yes. Sheep are meant to be sheared. So why not exploit them? I'm stronger than them. Why not exploit them? So this is going on since time immemorial. We can't trace how long we've been under this false idea that we have an advantage, that we can get a better advantage here in the material world. Therefore, Krishna says, Dukalaya Mashesha. No. There's no happiness in this world. It's an illusion. What is that happiness? Here today, gone tomorrow. Sweet 16, bitter 16. We should understand the whole thing is wrong atmosphere and make a plan to get out. Just like the examples given. Somebody falls in the ocean. They may be a very expert swimmer, better than others, and they can stay in the ocean longer. But still, they can't get out on their own. They need help. So that's our position. We have to be humble enough to ask for help. So why not? Why don't they ask for help? Why don't we ask for help? Because we're proud. What should I ask for? I'm okay. Especially men have that false ego, right? Sometimes they get lost. They're embarrassed to ask people, I'm lost here, could you help? Because they're men. I can't be lost. So, of course, women have their problems too. Especially they get jealous easily. There's another girl very pretty, very beautiful. In our heart, I don't remember being a woman, I'm sure it wasn't one of my past lives, but that is prominent there, the jealousy. So the point is, we're making, we should do anything, is that this is not our real home. It's not a fit place for gentlemen. We should finish up our business, or gentlewoman, and qualify to go back to the spiritual world. But the first qualification is, we have to be submissive to the spiritual master and Krishna. So here, Krishna is telling us, yes, be submissive and do everything for me. That doesn't sound like, well, what about me? If I'm going to do everything for you, what am I going to get? So therefore, little faith is required. That there is a God. If I work for His pleasure, I won't be the loser. So how do we get that faith? How do we get that submission? By associating with those who are more advanced, more submissive, more knowledgeable about their actual position. It's a question of knowledge. Who am I? We're certainly not independent, but the mind gives us that false idea that we're independent. Everybody thinks we're independent. And we have some minute independence. It's like now, any one of you can get up and walk out. So we have some independence. But ultimately, we're controlled by the material. Just like if there's no supply of air, what is our position? We're sitting here talking philosophy. But if suddenly there's no air, then in a few minutes we're finished, right? So who's supplying the air? Are we making it in our factory? No. From the nature. Who is nature? Krishna said, this is my nature. So Krishna is supplying us whatever we need. Sunlight, air, food, whatever. So we should understand that we're dependent. We're eternal, but we're dependent eternal. We have consciousness, but Krishna had full consciousness. Our consciousness is just of this body. But Krishna is in everyone's heart. He's conscious of everybody. So we shouldn't imagine that we can become God. Before I became a devotee, I was going to a yoga class. The yoga teacher was telling us that. You'd go for meditation, he'd say, be still and know that you are God. And I was thinking, I never thought I was God. But maybe I should try it. This is the Maya. We can become God. What kind of God has to become God? Krishna was the God from the moment, eternally. He appeared with 4 arms and helmet and jewels and so on. Then out of the love for his parents wanted him to be just like an ordinary baby, so he turned into a 2-armed baby. So the point is, we're not God, we can never be God, but there is a God. We can argue that point if somebody is an atheist. It's like one argument we always hear is, generally there's a carpet or something that has a design. So we can see that, we can infer very, very confidently that this design thing, like this garland, say, this was made by some plant to make the garland. Well, they don't grow like this in nature, all together like this. So there was an intelligent plan to how to make a garland. So this is a simple thing. Well, so much complexity there is in one cell, and we say it happened by chance. If I told you this garland came together by chance, you'd say, come on, that can't be. It was made. So similarly, the atheist can be defeated very easily. There has to be a designer. There has to be a creator. What experience do we have that things are created by their own? They say Big Bang. Well, what caused the Big Bang? Oh, we're thinking about that. We're going to let you know. As soon as we
figure it out.
So this guy who left his body in the wheelchair.
Stephen Hawkins.
He was telling me, I'm going to tell you what caused the Big Bang. And I'm going to tell you what caused your death. Your karma ran out and you died. And it wasn't by chance. Everybody has a certain amount of heartbeats. And so, when those heartbeats are finished, then you have to leave. You don't have a choice. So here Krishna is advising, Yat Karoshi, do everything for me. Like we know sometimes it tells us that. So many lifetimes we've been trying to make ourselves happy, but we haven't succeeded. We still can't get any satisfaction. I can't get no. We're trying. We're trying to get satisfaction, but we try, but we still can't. So therefore, why not this one lifetime dedicated to Krishna? Try to make Krishna happy. It's just one lifetime. This is the challenge, like you know, for users. Why not try? Then we'll see that it gets easier. Because making Krishna happy is natural. This is our constitutional position. Just like the hand, naturally, it serves the body. It doesn't try to eat the food directly or taste the food directly. It understands, if I cooperate with the whole body, I'll get whatever I need. Nourishment will come. But we're like the hand, and now we're cut off. So how can we enjoy it? We can't. Therefore, the Bhagavad Gita, Dukkalaya, is full of misery. You may say, well, I'm not so miserable. Yeah, but it's temporary. Then you have to experience all the disease and death. So the Buddhists have analyzed it. All the pleasure, all the pain in the human life comes to zero. So that's the philosophy. Everything is zero. But we say, no, if there's a minus to your life, zero, why not a plus one? But Krishna is saying there is a positive ego, a positive world where you can enjoy eternally, full of knowledge and bliss. My abode, and Bhagavatam gives full description. Kama Samhita, Ishvara Krishna. So much description is there of the abode of the Lord and what's happening there. And we're being invited to enter into that abode. But in order to do that, you have to qualify. So this is an easy way to qualify. Work for Krishna. That's what Krishna told Arjuna. He said, Arjuna said, I'm not going to work. I'm going to go to the forest. He said, no, do your duty, but do it for me. And so, just by doing his duty, doing it for Krishna, he became perfect. Qualified. He doesn't become God, he becomes perfect in his own position. This is the first teaching of the Gita. There's so many living entities. They've always existed. All these kings, Krishna told us. And you also have always existed. In the past you existed, now you're existing as an individual. In your future you'll also exist. This is the first teaching of the Gita. So we're going to continue to exist. This is a very joyful message. We're not going to die. We're eternal. But why not qualify to enter into the spiritual world? So this is how we do it. Let's see what Prabhupada is going to enlighten us here. Thus it is the duty, thus it is the duty of everyone to mold his life in such a way that he will not forget Krishna in any circumstance. So that we can do. Prabhupada has given us Iskcon. We work to enhance this movement, to spread this movement. Then we'll see that we're automatically remembering Prabhupada. Because Prabhupada is the Acharya, his books are there, his Murti is there, his instructions are here, how to do everything within the institution, how to manage and so on. So we'll naturally be thinking of Prabhupada. And thinking of Prabhupada is the same as thinking of Krishna. I can tell a quick story how. We were sitting with Prabhupada once in London in 1969. 4 or 5 of us, and Srila was there. One devotee came in, named Ishan. And he said, Prabhupada said to him, so Ishan, you remembering Krishna? And Ishan was a little mental. He said, well, Prabhupada. And Prabhupada kind of read his mind and said, that's okay. You can remember me remembering Krishna. So that's Prabhupada's position. If we remember Prabhupada, this is good or better than remembering Krishna. And we can remember Prabhupada because we're selling his books, we're working to clean his temple, or whatever we're doing, we can do it But the idea is that we're helping Prabhupada's movement, assisting him. He's ready. He's willing. He's eager for thousands of assistants to establish this movement all over the world. That was his vision. He wanted to influence the whole world. So it's our good fortune. We can help him. And then we can remember him. Remembering him is the same as remembering Krishna. Everyone has to work for maintenance of the body and soul together. And Krishna recommends herein that one should work for him. Everyone has to eat something to live. Therefore, he should accept the remnants of foodstuff offered to Krishna. Any civilized man has to perform some religious ritualistic ceremony. Therefore, Krishna recommends, do it for me. And this is called archana. Everyone has a tendency to give something in charity. Krishna says, give it to me. That means that all surplus money accumulated should be utilized to further the Krishna conscious movement. Prabhupada was bold thinking, right? All of this money should be collected and to help the devotees push on this movement. We may doubt how that can never happen. And it's true, this is the material world, so we're not discouraged that everybody's not giving all their money, excess money to us. But at least we can think how we can give more. There's so many ways we can assist you to Prabhupada. But with our money, with our labor, with our words, we can talk to others about Prabhupada's movement. We can, what's the other one? Give our whole life. Atmanivadana. That's the ultimate. Giving is giving yourself. Like we don't talk about that. How, once you give yourself, then everything comes with it. Your family, your mom, whatever you have, I render unto you, lotuses. So this is the goal. Atmanivadana. We want to be completely surrendered to Krishna. But we can't do that artificially. But gradually, we can come to that point. Nowadays, people are very much inclined to the meditational process. Like I was telling that yogi was trying to meditate that you're God, which is not practical in this age. But if anyone practices meditation on Krishna 24 hours a day by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, what is that mantra?
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
He is surely the greatest meditator, the greatest yogi, as substantiated by the 6th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. The last verse of the 6th chapter, Krishna clearly says that the Bhakti Yoga is the best yogi, one who worships me. And again, Prabhupada is mentioning this purport about food, because food is important for all of us, right? We were reading in the previous verse how we should offer everything to Krishna. So that we can do practically, every one of us. Before putting the food in our mouth, we can think, keep a little picture of Krishna in your house, in your apartment, in one section, and offer your food to Krishna. It's not so difficult. Yeah. And then you can, just by eating, you can make spiritual advancement. Such a nice process. You don't have to perform severe austerity, a little austerity. But Prabhupada used to say, I'm only asking you to give up poison. The poison is there, illicit sex. It poisons your mind. You think making plans to enjoy illicit sex, cheat on your wife or whatever, and you're becoming unclean in your mind. And then illicit sex, intoxication. It even says on the bottle, this is hard, bad for your health. Under cigarettes, bad for your health. So Prabhupada is saying, yeah, give up this poison. But we're addicted to the poison. I was also addicted. I was smoking a pack a day for 10 years, cigarettes. And when I came, and I had tried quitting. It was easy to quit. I quit 30 times. I knew it was wrong. I tried to quit, but I'd always go back to it. But when I became a devotee, then I never went back. So now, since 1968, now I even smell cigarettes. I don't like it. So it was difficult. But the even more difficult, I won't go into that, you'll get discouraged. We have to take one step at a time. If we worry, 5 steps ahead, then just take them one step to Krishna. One step you can do. Each one of you can make a pledge. From today, I'm going to do one more thing to please Krishna, whatever it is. Get up 15 minutes early so you can chant morning rounds in the morning before you have to start your work. Or make sure you offer your food to Krishna. Not so difficult. Even if worst comes to worst, you can do it in your mind. Little things like that. We can all make some improvement. And then Krishna will reciprocate. He says very clearly, as they surrender unto me, I reciprocate accordingly. What's the verse?
7:4. Eyatamam papayanti tam sateva bhajanyan amamar anavas.
As they surrender unto me, I reciprocate accordingly. So he's ready to reciprocate. He's waiting for you. He's in your heart. But you have to do something from your side. He's done something. He's come and spoke Bhagavad Gita. He sent his pure devotee, Srila Prabhupada, to open the centers all over the world to understand what is the real meaning of Bhagavad Gita. He's doing a lot for us. He came as Krishna himself, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to show us by his example how to be a devotee, centered around this chanting. He's giving us so much. We should now agree to do something from our side. Maybe a little pinch will be there. We can decide, I'm going to give €10 a week. That's something, right? A little from your side. Then Krishna will reciprocate. That's his promise. But we're faithless. So what can be done? Then we suffer. The doubting soul, there's happiness neither in this life or the next. So faith is the most important item. And we get faithful by associating with those who are more faithful. That was my experience with Srila Prabhupada. I was doubting. Actually, doubt is a sign of intelligence. We're not expecting people to blindly follow. You have to have some doubt to question. But when the questions are resolved, then you should give up that doubt. What is the question? Anybody has a question? Where are your doubts? Let me hear. Come on. I can smash your doubts.
Will Krishna always protect me from making bad decisions?
Are you consulting him before you make decisions? Or his representative, his spiritual master?
No, that's a good point. No, not always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Therefore, the Adao Guru Puja. First, we should look for a guru. Just like we want to be a heart surgeon. We can't just read the books on heart surgery and open a clinic. Heart surgery performed here. No, we'll be arrested. In order to become a heart surgeon, you have to go to other heart surgeons. The teacher is very delicate. So spiritual life is even more delicate. You need the guidance of somebody who's, we have 3 guidance. Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. We should always consult. Shastra is the center, actually. We choose Guru and Sadhu on the strength of the Shastra. Shastra tells us what is the Sadhu, like we were reading. Mahatma. Mahatmanam Prabha. No, not that somebody's rubber stamped Mahatma. Mahatma means one who is always chanting my glories. So we saw that was Prabhupada's position. He was always taxing his brain how to broadcast the message of Krishna. International Society for Krishna Consciousness. He didn't. Most of these gurus and yogis, they say, they make it Rajneesh movement or Chinmayananda or Ramakrishna. They put their name in the front. The Prabhupada put Krishna's name in the front. That's the guru. Guru means he wants to see Krishna glorified. That's a real guru. Like once I came in front of Prabhupada, he was going out, so I brought his shoes. He immediately said, "Why are you bringing my shoes in front of Krishna? Don't you see Krishna's here?" Yeah, he didn't want me to put him in the center. But we do it because, now it goes back to the other one. We do it because he is as good as Krishna. But still, he's as good as Krishna, but not as great as Krishna. Krishna is Vishwatattva. Srila Prabhupada is Jiva-tattva. There's a vast difference between the living entity and God. So Prabhupada never claimed to be God. As a matter of fact, when some disciples of his started to claim that he was God, he threw them out of his movement. He told them, travel and preach, become purified. I never said I was God. So we have to use our intelligence to understand. Anybody else has a doubt?
Oh, well, actually, it's more like a conviction
Okay.
that addiction is a very prominent thing now, you mentioned. But now there is also a solution. There is 17 weekly online Bhakti recovery meetings based on the 12 steps, from which like thousands of alcoholics have recovered by this 12-step program, and now devotees have incorporated it into their devotee care. And there's 17 online meetings a week for all kinds of addictions, you name it. And I can recommend to hear the story of Jiva Ji, Mataji. It's in a late morning program, a podcast, and also in the Wisdom of the Sages.
So you can give more information.
Yes. Yes, and there's a website
Raise
also.
your hand so everybody knows who you
Yes.
are.
And then Jamastami Das. And there is also a website, bhaktirecoverygroup.com.
Any other? Yes, Martin.
Yes, I have a question because I still don't understand this concept of God outside. If who are we then? If there's only one God and He's outside of us, how do
He's also inside of it.
Oh,
In our
okay.
heart. He's outside it, he's actually in every atom. Just to explain how. It's a little inconceivable, therefore Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us the philosophy, Achinta Veda Veda Tattva. We're all one with God and also different from Him. So nothing outside of God, just like you could say the government, nothing outside the government, but within the oneness of the government there are many departments. So God is one, but He has different energies. Like fire is one, but He has two energies, light and heat. So God is one, but He has many energies, diverse energies. The basic categories of energy are the Lord Himself, Vishnu Tattva, the living entity, Jiva Tattva, and the material world, Mahatattva, or earth, water, air, fire, ether. These things are all material, including mind, including intelligence. These things are material. The soul is different categories. There's two categories of energy, matter and spirit. And you can't make spirit out of matter. That's our challenge. But you can make life from matter, or we'll give you the chemicals. Take a yellow chemical, a white chemical, and make an egg. The chicken comes out. But we're trying to do that. We can't do that. They can't do it. Because categorically different. Matter and spirit. Life comes from life. So that's a good question about God's nature. You can read some verses there. In chapter 9, text 2 and 3, or 3 and 4, I'm forgetting.
4 and 5.
4 and 5, thank you.
Right,
About how
Tommy
Krishna
Johnson.
is one with the creation and also separate from the creation. Inconceivably, there's some things that are inconceivable. But no, He's here, He's in our heart, He's especially in His holy name. And if we chant with purity, we'll feel Him dancing on our tongue. Rupa Goswami is praying for millions of tongues, where He can vibrate this syllable, Krishna. And millions of ears to hear the syllable, Krishna. And when He hears it, His heart dances in ecstasy. So we can't imitate that, but we can say very confidently that especially in this Kali Yuga, the method of approaching God is through His holy name. Well, Jesus also said, hallowed be Thy name. The name is spiritual. So if you get more attached to it and more taste for it, then we'll see that Krishna is becoming directly involved in our life. We'll experience that. Like once Srila Prabhupada was asked by a journalist, I guess it was, well, you're the International Society of the Krishna Consciousness. Well, how does Krishna get involved? So one of the secretaries said, he was kind of fielding the questions on behalf of Prabhupada. And he said, well, yes, Krishna gives us the intelligence and so on like that. Prabhupada said, no, Krishna will directly tell us. That was Prabhupada's position. He was being guided by Krishna directly. So we can also be guided, but we have to be pure. Because the mind is also in the heart. So the mind can tell us something and we'll say, oh, this is Krishna. No. We have to be, in order to get guidance from within, we have to be advanced. So in the beginning, we should take guidance from Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. These are our three authorities, the beginners. Therefore, read our literature, Bhagavad Gita gives so much information that we just become one verse. Every verse, Prabhupada has poured his purport from realization. There's not speculation, there's not maybe. He's speaking from realization. Therefore, we want to keep Prabhupada in the center, Prabhupada's books in the center, Prabhupada's instructions in the center, Prabhupada's way of managing. We want to keep that best we can.
So we can have that realization as well.
Okay? That's your originally you had that realization. Why we've lost it? Because of misuse of independence. So proper use of independence, then you can go back to the spiritual world. That verse is there, Isha Dvesha. We've come to this material world because of two things. Isha Dvesha. What is that? Isha means desire. What is that desire? Yeah, I want to be the controller, the enjoyer, the proprietor. And what is it? Dvesha. What is it we don't like? Somebody else is that control. So we forget about God and put ourselves in the center. Not so easy to keep God in the center because nobody else is doing it. Therefore, Prabhupada took so much trouble, big headache, to organize this Iskcon society, to give us a chance to associate with each other. I'm personally experiencing that. I was managing, many different projects in different years, and now I'm just traveling and teaching. And it's very enlivening because I always meet new people, and I see how they're taking to Krishna consciousness very enthusiastically. They're happy, they're chanting and dancing with us. And so I feel my faith increases in this movement, in this process. It's not a bluff. If you chant Hare Krishna, you will be happy. Baba used to always say that. Once the reporter asked him, are you a hippie? You hippies were quite prominent at the time. So I said, no, we're not hippies, we're happies. So we can be happy. Chant Hare Krishna and be happy.
Why can't we just do our best to be good persons? Why it has to go so far?
Yeah. When you're a good person, let's say, I'll give you an example. There's somebody drowning in the ocean, they've been in there for 2 days, you come in a helicopter and you call down to them, Sir, how long have you been in the ocean? Or 2 days. Oh, you must be hungry. So we throw a loaf of bread and fly away. That's a good thing. He's helping, the guy's hungry. But wouldn't it be better to get him out of the ocean? Or similarly, we want to get people out of this material world, qualify to go into the spiritual world. But you're a good person. You want to patch up put a Band-Aid here, and it's not going to stop them from dying.
But do we have to be devotees of Krishna? Can we?
Well, who do you want to be devoted to?
No, maybe Jesus.
Okay. We won't discourage you. Prabhupada didn't discourage you. He was walking with a Jesuit priest, or I think it was a Jesuit. He didn't say you should give up your Jesus and come chant Hare Krishna. He saw the similarities and encouraged them. Same with the Muslims. I was driving one Muslim taxi driver, where were we, I forget. And he was sincere, man, and I was encouraging him, be a better Muslim, and he was appreciating. But put God in the center. Not that they become fanatical. Just like Muhammad, in the Quran, it says suicide is a sin. But they're committing suicide, they're blowing up people, suicide bombers. How is that pleasing to Muhammad or Allah? So religion can be misused for political purpose. That we don't want. Fanaticism. Or sentiment. We want based on Shastra. And we're a little partial. We think Bhagavad Gita is the best Shastra. You do a comparative study. I did. When I first came, I met the devotees. And I was thinking, first reaction was, Because they were saying, Bhagavad Gita as it is, this is the best. And I was thinking, come on, I'm not familiar with Bhagavad Gita. Why do you think this is the only way? Something like that. I thought they were like Christians, preaching this is the only way. So I went to the library, and I got 4 different editions of Bhagavad Gita, and I did a cross study. I was a little serious. It wasn't a big endeavor. The library is full of Bhagavad Gita. And see which one is actually representing Krishna. Then it was clear. The Prabhupada is representing what Krishna said, that he's God, and that everything is coming from him. Like pearls on a thread, everything is resting on him. He's the source of everything material and spirit. That's what Krishna said. Of course, if you don't care for Bhagavad Gita, then okay, go to the Quran and Bible. But you should have some authority. Otherwise, how do you know? Who am I? What is the meaning of life? How do they answer? Your friends.
Oh, many different.
Yeah. Okay.
Maharaj, you emphasizing faith. So if I may play devil's advocate, why should we have faith in Guru when so many gurus have fallen down?
It's the system that Krishna wanted us to follow. In other words, he clearly says, one who claims to be my devotee is not my devotee, but one who is a devotee is my devotee, he is my devotee. So we've turned away from Krishna. We can't make our own process of religion. We should accept the process that he's given. He said, I've come to speak Bhagavad Gita. One of the main reasons was to reestablish parampara, which appears to be lost. So Krishna is the one who is telling us in chapter 4, text 34, just learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Avivaracha. There's another verse from Bhagavatam which says you must approach a spiritualist. The imperative is there. You must. So you have bad experience, just like you get counterfeit money. So you have bad experience. You thought it was a real $100 bill or €100 bill, but it turned out to be useless. It has no value. So it doesn't mean you just give up the system of money. You find a real money. So you find a real guru. That you can test. Who is a real guru? Yes. Well, real guru is the one who's always putting Krishna in the center. That's what we're saying about Prabhupada. He is a real guru. Real guru is always putting his guru. I'll tell you a quick story with Srila Prabhupada. I was giving massage, as I mentioned, and in 1969 Prabhupada came, and we had a first big open program in London. And there were 300 people, a lot of Hindus. Even in those days, Hindus were in London, big number. So they were challenging Prabhupada. In the middle of the class, one man was there, what about Lord Shiva? And Prabhupada was they said, sit down, you are nonsense. So we never saw Prabhupada so bold. There was a series of lectures. The next day, Prabhupada was due to speak again in the evening. So during the day, I used to give 11 o'clock in the morning every day. I was giving massage, and I was remembering his strong, class of the night before. And so I was thinking, like I was getting him in shape by massaging him for another knockout performance. Started massaging and talking, and massaging and talking. And in my mind I was thinking, me and you, Prabhupada, we can take over the world. My passionate nature. Please forgive me. So, like that, I was going on. And then suddenly Prabhupada said, no! And my hands froze on his body. And then he said with another voice, like a child, 7-year-old boy, he spoke. I am just a humble servant. And I felt so embarrassed. I was thinking, he's such an aristocrat, I'm such an ordinary slob. I should be in the same room with him. What to speak of touching his body? And there was a throw rug there. I think I should go under the rug. Yeah, because he was so genuinely humble. No artificialness there. He was generally seeing himself as a servant of his spiritual master and Krishna. So he could speak like that with full conviction. So therefore I became humble by his example. Little humble. Of course, again we go back to being puffed up. Therefore, it's an ongoing process. We have to struggle, and then again we'll see. Now I'm putting myself in the center. I should be putting Krishna in the center. Now I'm advertising myself. We have to always be careful not to become controlled by false ego. False ego will always push us. You're the greatest. Okay, did I answer that all right?
In Prabhupada's purport, it's he mentioned that meditation in this age of Kali is not, it's
Recommended.
not recommended. Even though a lot of people are attracted, and should just meditate upon japa and the holy name of the Lord. But wouldn't this meditation and aligning, first this material body that we have and getting it, for example, ready to receive, this meditation upon Krishna,
You want to meditate on the fact that you're not the body.
Sure.
That's okay.
And then
the next step is, okay, I'm not the body, what am I? I'm the soul. So then the next question is, well, what do I do? What's my activity? Then, that's where Krishna consciousness. Yes, you should act. Act for the pleasure of Krishna. Because you can't sit in meditation for how long? An hour? That's a long time, sitting. You do that? An hour? So we want to do something. And what do? Therefore Krishna said, Yad Karoshi, Yad Jahoshi, Yad Jahoshi, whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you do it for me. And if you want to meditate on that you're not the body, that's okay. But then you have to get up from that meditation and do something. So, Krishna consciousness is practical. Do something. Directly, you can serve Krishna, and then directly you're in bhakti yoga. High status of yoga. Highest status. You're doing something for Krishna. And if you do it with the right intention and the guidance of Guru and Shastra, then Krishna will be very pleased with you, quickly. Otherwise, in this age, you have to sit and you read. How many people can go to the Himalayas and do the meditation? It's mentioned in the 6th chapter. You read through that verse, going through that chapter, and Krishna's giving a system of meditation. Hold your nose and so on, and you have to sit in a completely celibate in a solitary place, not be disturbed by the children or something, and meditate. But at the end, Arjuna says, I can't do that. My mind is too restless. So we don't recommend it because our mind is restless. We want to do something. So do something, take out a Harinam party. You're good at that. He's a good singer. Come out with us and chant Hare Krishna, dance, play Madanga, bring your girlfriend. He's also a good dancer. And have nice children who are also good devotees. Everything is there. Just put Krishna in the center and your life will unfold in a very pleasant way. Maybe a little difficulty, but it's not really difficult. Then now one verse is there. 7:14. What is it Krishna says? Very difficult to overcome this Maya. He says. The second part of the verse, it's all in one verse, which is, but one who surrenders to me can easily cross beyond it. Easily. So difficult and easy. Once you get the hang of it, it's like riding a bicycle. You look at a bicycle. I remember before, when I was a child, I didn't ride it first. I said, how can you ride it? It's going to fall over. But once you get the hang of it, it's easy, right? So it looks impossible. It's going to fall. But once you learn the system, it's very simple. Similarly with Krishna consciousness, it looks impossible. Well, once you get the hang of it, it's very natural to put God in the center. Well, okay, the next bit.
I joined the movement in 91, and I was told to find fault in myself and not to make offense to the devotees. And so many years later, so many things I see have happened, and this shakes my faith in the process, in the devotees, in the movement. Bad things, you know, all kinds.
So is it a question or a comment?
If you could please help me overcome my doubts.
So what is your doubt?
My doubt is if the process works, and if there are people who practice it sincerely. The way it's presented to us, of course.
Well, make an experiment. Like we say, we're telling you that the honey tastes very sweet and sticky and has a nice aroma, and you never tasted honey. So you have to, you not just to take my word for it, you have to try seriously. Unscrew the cap, put your finger into or a spoon, bring it to your mouth, then you get to taste. So we're saying if you seriously take the process, rise early in the morning, take a shower, come regularly without fail and chant Hare Krishna, even if it's only half an hour or something, you fit in your schedule. Then Krishna will reciprocate with you sufficiently that it will keep you on the path. I mean, you say you came in 91, but you're still here. So you must be something that's keeping you some faith in order to come back. So we're just saying, take another step. That's what I'm encouraging tonight. Take another step, and Krishna will reciprocate more and more. Again, he doesn't want to force us. It's love. Love is the highest thing, but it can never be forced. You have to want to please Krishna. So we find that Krishna is worth pleasing. Or we have to serve, right? We're serving our body. Or we look in the mirror and say, okay, I'm serving this body. I'm not so special. Right? I'm not so special. I'm serving myself. But then there's something more than myself. Yeah, okay, I'm serving my humanity. But humanity also, a bunch of bums. They're cheating at every second. There's no harmony. Everybody loves himself the most. Why should we serve humanity? Then what are we going to serve? You tell me. We have to serve. We can't stop serving.
Animals, maybe?
I don't think people are so bad, sorry, but I see beauty in human beings as well. I see positivity and hope in humanity, otherwise we would not be here chanting if we didn't see the beautiful side of people. And we can serve each other, no?
Yeah, well, I don't agree with you. I don't see any beautiful side. I think everybody is under the control of false ego, and they all love themselves the most. I don't see any love in this world.
But Krishna
None.
is...
Zero. I say zero love. Everybody loves himself the most. That's not love. I'm doing something wonderful to help humanity because I want to be famous as a humanitarian, and I want to get my name in the paper that he helped, he gave so much money, Bill Gates or something. But it all comes back to me. I don't see love.
But would you still keep chanting if you didn't see something good? You would just kill yourself if you really, really thought that there's nothing good in anything.
You should kill that side of yourself.
Yeah,
and
that
then give the full attention to Krishna. That's our point. You want to have your cake and eat it too. You want to be a good person in the world, and at the same time a devotee. But a really good devotee was the one who will save the person who's in the ocean, not just do good. What is doing good? It's like wet stool and dry stool. The dry stool is much better than the wet stool. But it's stool. That's what you're saying now. We should do dry stool. The whole world should have dry stool. Then they'll be happy. No, it won't make them happy. We're like a fish out of water. No matter what you do for the fish, he won't be happy. You can give him a beautiful she fish. You can give him beautiful, wonderful fish food. He won't be happy because he's not in his real element. So you can't be happy in this world. Krishna certified. You can't be happy.
So
but you think you can be happy. Okay, start your own movement and see how many people follow. You won't get followed. Because they also want to be in the center. You want to be in the center and start your own movement? But we're not trying to start our own movement. We're followers. The movement has already started. Krishna said many people in the past have attained success by following this process. So we're hopeful. We have full, great hope that we can also become qualified to enter the spiritual world. Why we says many in the path have, by following this path, have entered the spiritual world. But I don't see anybody getting out of the material world by doing good work to people. They remain. They may get a good position in the next life. They may have good karma. Prabhupada talks about this in chapter 14. So we have Gita. Chapter 14, text number 6. It describes the mode of goodness. You're talking about goodness. Don't give it to me.
14.6.
14.6. Nobody else has a Gita? Or you keep it, you don't have it on your phone?
English?
This is the translation.
The translation. Sinless one, the mode of goodness, being purer than the others, is eliminating, and it frees one from all sinful reactions. Those situated in that mode become conditioned by a sense of happiness and knowledge.
Okay. So this is what you're aspiring for. You want to be happy, knowledge. But read the second paragraph of the purport.
The difficulty here is that when a living entity is situated in the mode of goodness, he becomes conditioned to feel that he is advanced in knowledge and is better than others. In this way, he becomes conditioned. The best examples are the scientist and the philosopher. Each is very proud of his knowledge, and because they generally improve their living conditions, they feel a sort of material happiness. This sense of advanced happiness in conditioned life makes them bound by the mode of goodness of material nature. As such, they are attracted towards working in the mode of goodness, and as long as they have an attraction for working in that way, they have to take some type of body in the modes of nature. Thus, there is no likelihood of liberation or of being transferred to the spiritual world. Repeatedly, one may become a philosopher, a scientist, or a poet, and repeatedly become entangled in the same disadvantages of birth and death. But due to the illusion of the material energy, one thinks that that sort of life is pleasant.
Therefore, we don't think it's pleasure. We don't give an inch. It's full of misery. Everybody has to grow old, become diseased, and die. And everybody's envious.
But
To
then,
some degree, there may be less degree. One in the mode of goodness, he's less envious, but they're still envious. They're the other person who's doing good. Well, I did more than him. I opened more hospitals than he did. It always comes back to that. Because they put themselves in the center. They don't really love humanity more than themselves.
but then if you don't see your brothers and sisters,
If I don't see what?
if I don't see my brothers and sisters, I mean, if I don't really see that positive side, then I go into
What
the
positive
negative
side?
side.
What
But
positive?
what I'm saying, mine is like this. It tends to go from one extreme to the other. Either you see the good or the bad. Whoever is in the middle is realized from my point of view. Mine always tends to go from bad. If you see it's only misery, it's only envy, that's bad.
It's hard for
Then
me
you
to
see the
understand
bad.
because of your...
She's saying that, as far as may try to.
Sure.
She says that from her point of view, it should not be just negative or positive. One who's in the middle, he's the best. Who sees in the
And
middle.
that was, the Greek philosophers had that idea. Moderation, everything in moderation. But
I
there's
know-
no hope to get out of the cycle of birth and death. That's the point that Prabhupada is making. You can be moderate and people will like you and you'll die, and according to your karma, you'll be packed up in the womb. Do you believe that or not? You believe in reincarnation and
So you think it's
transmigration
better I
of the soul?
think bad of everybody? This is what I'm asking. It's good that I should think humanity is doomed and everybody
The
is
same
bad.
example, somebody's drowning in the ocean and you're giving him a loaf of bread. The real good work is to get him out of the ocean. Well, you want to patch up the ocean and make it look like a very nice place because you're doing good. No, get out of the world, get out of the material world.
But meanwhile,
Yeah.
she doesn't want to think bad of all people and see everybody envious.
No,
and do-
why do you think bad of people? We say that every person is a particle of God. Small particle, they have a glorious position. They're eternal, full of knowledge and blissful.
That's positive.
And that's
Yeah,
not
that's
negative.
That's what I'm
It's
saying.
positive then, yes?
Yeah, it's positive.
Okay.
It's good news.
then,
The
then what
good
are we
news is that
discussing?
you're eternal. That you're full of knowledge and you're blissful. But because you're stubborn, you want to remain on the bodily platform. That's from my perspective, you're in a woman's body and you're thinking, I can help so many people with my motherly instinct, and that's the best thing I should do, help them. But you don't know how to help them. The same example, you're giving a loaf of bread to the drowning man. Real help is to get him out of the material world.
No, honestly, I want to help myself. Honestly speaking, I want to
That's,
help myself.
now we're getting to the point. You want to help yourself. So
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the point we're making. Everybody loves himself.
I want
the
to
most.
not drown myself. Basically.
Okay, so you came to the right place. You want to help yourself, this is the right place. But you first have to understand, what is it? What is yourself? You want to help, but if you don't know who you are, if you identify your body as yourself, then you can't really help yourself. So therefore, the first teaching of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna speaks like 25 verses, telling us from this angle, this angle, this angle, you're not this body, you're the soul who has a woman's body. You're the soul who, whatever, is white and Dutch.
Romania.
Human.
Romania.
Human, you're a human, right?
No, Romania.
Born in Romania.
Okay, anyone else?
Recently, some devotees I met, they were convinced that it's not possible to follow all 4 regulative principles.
Yeah, well, they're nonsense.
Yeah, but I was happy that you said to get the hang of it. So, I mean, from my experience now, even such staunch addictions, like whether it's drugs or sex or all these things, there are walking around us people who have overcome it, and they have the hang of it now, so it's not so hard anymore to resist.
That's right.
But there is a process to it, like it's called surrender, but that's elaborated upon in these 12 steps.
Yeah.
So surrender is broken
Okay,
down.
raise your hand again. You have to get the 12 steps. Someone else?
Well, I wanted to change the subject a little bit. Could you tell a little bit more about the interaction with Srila Prabhupada?
You like it when he blasted me?
Well, I read something in your
Robert
book.
sometimes smashed me.
Yes, please tell us. I love this kind of stuff.
That's right, you do love this kind of
Yes.
thing. You're just saying how you... Just opposite what you said 3 minutes ago.
I love this. It's mercy, no?
Yeah. Very interesting. Okay, Prabhupada blasted me. There's so many stories. And he wanted me to stay in Mayapur. I told him after Jagataka, which was actually an honor. I was this is like, as a senior sannyasi, he wanted me to help direct the biggest project in Iskcon. But I didn't want to stay there because I thought, during the year there's nothing here. This was like 74. And people weren't coming. There was nobody living there very much. And I protested. I said, Prabhupada, well, first I should give the prelude that Gopal Maharaj, he told me that Prabhupada wanted me to stay. He was the GBC for India. So I told him, you're not my GBC, I'm not going to stay. But later in the day, we were in Darshan with Prabhupada, and Gopal Maharaj told him, he said, Prabhupada, Chirigram Swami says he's not staying here. Prabhupada looked at me, what's wrong? Why And so, then he started. He said, our formula is plain living, high thinking, but you're addicted to the city, which is true. I'm a little passionate. I go in the city. I was selling books, meeting people, so many. And so at the end of the day, I was tired. I could sleep. I didn't think. I didn't worry. Money was coming in. So. And I thought, if I stay in my place, what am I going to do? There's nobody here. They don't speak English. So then, that was the next point. I gave another excuse and
Language.
Prabhupada said, what?
Language.
I don't speak Bengali.
Bengali,
told
yeah.
to Prabhupada. How I gonna preach?
Yeah. So that was the last one. There was one in between. Okay, I don't know that. Let's do it that way. I don't know that. If Prabhupada, I stay here, I only preach English. So I don't know Bengali. How can I communicate with people?
And you are
Then Prabhupada said, you're a sannyasi, you've given up everything but your whims. Then the last one was...
you are sannyasi for 5 years. You didn't still preach.
Oh, that's what I got.
Yeah.
You've been a sannyasi, you're reading my book? He said, I said, I've been a sannyasi for 5 years and I haven't had a chance to preach here. If I stay here in Bengal, I won't be able to preach because they don't speak English. But you see, there was one other story in between. Do you have the book?
Yes.
But I don't know exactly what it is. So anyway, so then Prabhupada said, the last thing he said to me was, oh, you're a sannyasi for 5 years and you haven't had a chance to preach? So what makes you think you know how to preach? But then I was in the Navy, I told you, so my arm automatically went. Condition reflex. Yes, sir. So I stayed for 6 months and then Babananda came back. And it was good for me to do what Prabhupada wanted. But he didn't like it that I was defying him. But after that, he dealt with me, instead of through the GBC, he used to deal with me directly. So I got something out of it. In other words, he would generally delegate to the GBC men to do the management. But in my case, after a while, he said, I know you can't get along too well with the GBC, so you can work directly for me. So I used to come every year and get my assignment from Prabhupada, and he'd send me on a mission, and I'd come back, report to him, and so on. That was the last few years. But the difficulty was when Prabhupada left the planet, then who did I have? So it was a little hard for me at first, because I wasn't, anyway, it's in my book.
Yeah. But there was also a story about, maybe one little more, about some yogi who came to Prabhupada with a woman and then they were carried out flat or something. I didn't read the whole thing. I just was looking, when on my way to come here, I look a little bit through the book.
Okay, so that the story is pretty, but I probably didn't chastise me for that, though.
No, it's not about just.
But this
just the
girl
story.
wants some red meat.
No, it's okay, we can be good now.
Okay. There was a yogi who came from the Himalayas because he had hemorrhoids. You know what hemorrhoids are?
Yeah.
Sitting in the cold. And so he came, he had to leave to get medical treatment. So he came, he was in New York, and he saw the devotee, so he wanted a place to stay, free place, and to stay and get food. So he asked if he could move in. So the devotees wrote to Prabhupada and they told him the circumstance. And Prabhupada said, yes, he can move in, but he has to get up every morning for Mangalarti and chant on his beads. Okay, so that's what he was doing for some months. And I met him at that time. He was going on hard on with us, and so he wasn't a liability. He carried his own. But then about 2 weeks before Prabhupada was due to come, he moved out. Well, that was his choice. You know, we didn't think anything. I wasn't the manager, so. But then I happened to look out the window of the temple, and I saw that this same yogi was coming with a heavy-set lady wearing saffron color, like that. And I didn't think anything of it either. I said, okay, it's natural. He's coming to see Prabhupada. So in about 15 minutes later, I happened to be walking by Prabhupada's room, and this yogi is being carried out of Prabhupada's room horizontally by 6 brahmacharis, or 8 brahmacharis. Wow, this is fun. So, you know, being a little shachi natured, I went in immediately to Prabhupada's room, And the lady's there, hysterical, standing in the back, and screaming, or not screaming, what's the word, screeching. Don't you touch me, don't you touch me. And there was one timid brahmachari there, kind of just standing. And then Prabhupada. And I looked at Prabhupada, and Prabhupada just gestured with his eyes. Get her out. So I went over to her. I went over to her and I said, shut up! And she became stunned by my voice. I didn't get violent, but I stunned her, and then we kind of walked her towards the door, and there was a devotee there at there, and they helped her out, no violence, and then she was gone. Then I turned back to Prabhupada. Prabhupada said, call the others. Means the GBC was there, the temple president was there, so I called them. Prabhupada. Then I was gone, because I wasn't the manager. But the next morning in class, Prabhupada mentioned, my disciple became angry, but that was okay because his spiritual master was being insulted. So I don't know exactly what happened. I wasn't there for the insult, but somehow they insulted Prabhupada. This yogi insulted Prabhupada. And so he was thrown out. I have another quick story about this.
In a mic.
In London, yeah. We were coming back from selling books on the street. So I was dressed in a dhoti and tilak, and I was alone. And 1969. The guy who sells papers at the top of the stairs, he was there. And he said something bad about Krishna. I forget exactly what he said, but he insulted Krishna. And I got mad. I said, you better shut up, I'll throw you down the stairs. Which is the stairs going down, right? I spoke strongly. He said, I thought you were pacifists. I said, you thought wrong. That was it. So, we can get angry for Krishna. If Krishna is being insulted, we shouldn't just listen and tolerate it, and we'll be contaminated. We should defend Krishna or his spiritual, or his representative of the spiritual. Okay, then where are we? Wrap it up. It's time.
Arati.
Arti ki.
Jai.
Who's going to sing?
So we have a quick announcement. We have books of Maharaj. Maharaj is, as you have already heard, so much service has been rendered by Maharaj to Maharaj has been sannyasi for his 52nd year, the longest sannyasi, just along with Jayapataka Maharaj. And he's been in Iskcon for more than 55 years. Maharaj got so much opportunity and associate with Srila Prabhupada and render services. So we have bought so many books, but I have only like 9 left now. And today is special opportunity. Maharaj can sign the book personally, whoever would like to purchase. After the Arati and Kirtan, they can please come to me, and for small donation, you can take this book. Thank you very much. Jai. Jai. We put there.
This is yours, huh?
Yeah, for Maharaj live stream. So I can put it there.
Jaya Gaurani Jai, Gaurani Jai, Gaurani Jai, Jaya Gaurani Jai. Jaya
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Any questions?
No, it dissolved. Resolved.
Jaya Mishita, Paramakrishya Yasasarasati. Jai Divange, Sri Bhakti Vedanta Swami Sri Prabhupada ki. Iskcon save the whole world Sri Prabhupada ki. Jaya Mishita, Paramakrishya Yasasarasati. Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki. Guru Parampara ki. Ramacharya Sri Haridas Thakur ki. Hare Shri Radha Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Abuni Chananda Shri Radha Radha Shri Vasari Gaur Bhakti ki. Shri Radha Krishna Gopinath Shankar Radharani Giri Govardhan ki. Navindam ki. Vedam ki. Jagannath Puri ki. Tulsi Devi ki. Bhakti Devi ki. Manira Bhakti Vindi ki. Gopamananda. Glory to the Son. Glory to the Son. Glory to the Son. Glory to Shri Guru and Shri Guru. What's next?
Hare Krishna, thank you for coming today. First of all, very much thank you to Maharaj for this beautiful lecture. Please give him a big Haribol. Everyone else who helped today, thank you today. Haribol. So we will afterwards. Yes, thank you so much. Sorry. Yes, next week we will have the Sunday feast again. Please note that we start at 2:45 Tulsi Puja, because you see not so much people coming at this time. It'd be nice if a lot more people come. So please come at time. I also want to point to our donation module, because you know we are dependent on donations, but there is a possibility outside. Please take opportunity for that. We will soon start serving prashadam in the temple. So please, we can maybe already start making 2 rows. The Prabhu's over here and the Madhik is over there.
Mataji.
And of course, Mantrini Mataji, thank you so much for arranging this today. Haribol! And last but not least, next week Saturday, that's Harinam in what place was it? In Hope Faith. Please take note of our newsletter. Nama Brahmani Vaishnave Ropa Punyavatam Raja Vishnu Sochai Vinayate Sharira Vidyaja Godindriya Kahiko Shiripele Vishai Sagore Paramatya Jiva Ati Loba Moisa Durmati Ake Cheta Katina Sansare Krishna Baradoya Moy Kari Mari Jiva Chai Swaprasad Nadina Bai Nayanam Rita Pao Radha Krishna Gunadao Prem with the coach Chaitanya Nitai Jai Nitai Jai Nitai Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Hare Mahaprasad ki Srila Prabhupada ki
Everybody please sit down. You can come with us. Mataji, sit down.
Everybody tells me how much they want. No, everybody told me how much they want. Nowadays it's not simple anymore. I'm finished with the women and the men have another part.
Ga maar even. Ga maar even voor. Oké.
I actually put for myself the right one. Okay, leave it for her. I make another one for you.
She's organized.
No, no problem. I hope I didn't put too little.
It can be perhaps combined.
You come more often before? If you come before? The first time? Oh. Usually you get a book you hear for the first time. Like would you come up to stage if anyone hears it for the first time? Please raise your hands and you get so the one was good job. Make sure you get where are you from? From here? Amsterdam ook? Oh, Nederland. Ja, tegenwoordig Amsterdam is begint alles in Amsterdam. Waar is het? Zijn we een jaar geleden nog geweest met Harina tijdens de Deventer historische loop. En dan hadden ze ook een oude klederdracht aan. Ergens rond de kersttijd. Afgelopen kerstdag. Ja, Harina door het hele land. Maar de heilige naam door het hele land verspreid. Dus we gaan naar de man die net zong, die leidt ook. En dan elke keer naar een andere stad. Deventer was ergens rond de kerst. Dat is mooi. Ze hadden allemaal een klederdracht aan, en mensen verwachten dat niet, dat komen de Heilige Christus. Uiteindelijk een hele grote party daar. Dus allemaal mensen met klederdracht en allemaal Heilige allemaal dansen. Dat was heel mooi. Deventer, mooie stad.
Is dat subtype hoor? Ja, daar. Heb je subtype gedaan?
Woon je nu ook hier of woon je in Amsterdam?
Some drink?
Ja, ik vind het allemaal vrij. Verbindingen die
Whether she's crying without you have to she's crying, you
ja, 2 dagen ja. I'm drowning in the ocean. Please help me. Are you hungry? You want some bread? Help me. Ja, mooie groenten. Heel veel mensen denken dat ze alleen maar goed zijn. Dat is ook voldoende. Maar het helpt wel. Maar het helpt niet. Ja, ik ben er niet in haar gezet. Nou, die hart is allemaal goed. Ja, wanneer ook doen. Ja, ik heb Sweet. Some more sweet? Half an hour. Then I start doing something. Then I go home. You still traveling? I tried to fix that. More sweet. En dat is vaker in Black Hole zitten in de wereld ervaring veel gelijk. Oh, met Zene Sara.
No me estaba hablando en español.
Mijn moeder is heel yoga lessen, yoga van het hart. Wauw. Hoe laat het is? Weet je van laat? Auspicious. Ja. Maar het gaat niet om hoe goed die muzikanten zijn, maar het helpt wel in het proces om dichter bij Krishna te komen. De bak die voel je meteen. Mooi. Ik was afgelopen weekend inderdaad. Ik was er ook eens, dus bijna elke weekend met Veda Sara uit Amerika. En hij lijkt helemaal allerlei processen in om los te laten, yoga te doen. Dat is leuk. Maar die dat is heel mooi, want met allemaal spirituele sloka's. En bij elke moment is dat een paar gooien wij lijstjes door de handfire. En we hebben allemaal oude dingen die ons steeds nieuwe groeien. Ja, dat is dingen te doen is zelf gaat worden.
Habla
Zo klein verband, alleen heel vaak per jaar, 5, 6 keer per jaar.
Entrevistas largas, ¿no?
Ik dood later naar vakantie toe naar huis.
Me siento un poco
Zij hebben, zoals gezegd, heel vaak door de stad heen, maar die naam dan drak en dan zijn dan de hele naam aan het zingen. Ik ben eigenlijk
Eenmaal, andermaal, Rijsendaal. No.
Maar jij kan een beetje begrijpen. Zodat jullie worden wel even wakker. Jullie ook? Een tijdje. Copacabana, né?
Some fetish. Cashew roast.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's